Breaking news, breaking news. Dom DeSandro, he got a job, promotion, things of that nature. A lot of things to talk about. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he said his intents of coming back, things of that nature. Lots of people made the headlines. Without further ado, let's fly on into it. So first and foremost, the first thing I'd like to talk about is Bradbury. Apparently he had a little abductor injury, things of that nature, and because I guess he got moved to safety, things of that nature. I don't even think he's good enough to make an NFL roster, but nevertheless, I do respect the Eagles at the very same time, because there's two sides to every corner, but at the same time, I respect the Eagles are trying to stick by him to some extent, or however, and try to really make it work, or however. Obviously, it wouldn't be that hard of a cap eater, however, since we still have 27, 28 million, or however in cap, which we'll get into a little bit later. But overall, yeah, he sat and watched the rest of the mini camp day one. It's thought to be nothing serious at this time. Even then, he's a bum, so it's not really much of a loss, even if it's a torn Achilles or however the case may be. But next thing is the secondary keeps making plays. Ringer has a couple pass breakups. Blankenship has a pass breakup with a Devin White interception, and Rogers has a breakup as well. Sirianni, he trolls Giants fans, things of that nature, saying we got your best player. However, because the only reason I'm bringing this up is because, again, at first when they first lost Saquon, he's a traitor. He abandoned us, yada yada yada. But if he's as bad as y'all say, if he fleeced us, why didn't y'all make an offer? And B, why make him out to, as if y'all really ultimately needed him, or however, if y'all are just gonna say that he fleeced us. Obviously, y'all didn't want him, but then at first, y'all said, he's a traitor, so apparently y'all did want him. So, it's just, flip-floppy. So, next up, the Saquon and Kirk news with the tampering results will be in sometime this week. Hopefully, only the Atlanta Falcons gets punished, things of that nature. I don't know exactly what was said, behind closed doors, agent to agent, or whatever the case may be, but overall, yeah, you honestly never know, but next up, Landon Dickerson and Devontae Smith were out. I don't think it's anything to worry about. I just think it's just to get the younger people more reps, things of that nature. In terms of Landon, he had an excuse there, but in terms of Smitty or however, it's just to get the younger guys reps. Johnny Wilson, Anaya Smith, things of that nature. Get them younger guys some reps. John Ross, because we need a 3 and a 4. So I believe that's what they're trying to figure out, in my personal opinion. Next up, Dean. He didn't get any first reps, any first team reps. He was just benching or however, the second and third teams, things of that nature. So it's looking like Zach Bond is going to start alongside Devin White. I have no problem with that, but I got to see Trotter. I put Trotter above Glassman Dean. I'm sorry to tell you, health is the most important ability in the game. If you can't stay healthy, you're worthless. Doesn't matter if you can run, 2 second 40 and 1,000, and you could throw 1,000 yards on a single pass metaphorically. Doesn't matter if you can do that. If you get tapped one time, you're out for a season, theoretically speaking. And there's some players like that. Next up, Jalen Hurts apparently had a solid day of practice. Not terrible, but nothing special as well. And another report said he had a solid day of practice. So apparently looked pretty good to some people, however. And again, we will have some more news about Jalen later and whatnot. But yeah, apparently he looks jacked and whatnot, and I have more proof a little bit later on why he's targeting the middle of the field and things of that nature. So next thing I'd like to talk about is Smitty, AJ, and BG all take shots at Brian Johnson's offense and the coaching in general. Smitty, he takes a shot at Brian Johnson's offense. He said that they were not allowed to do certain things, or however. And to me, based on what he just said, Devontae Smith, the wide receiver too, you know what I'm saying? It sounded like they were being held back, and that's what he's saying. That's what it sounds like. I could be wrong. I'm not a social expert. I'm just an average, humble fan that loves the game of football, loves my Eagles, things of that nature. And AJ agrees. He said, yeah, and then he kind of backtracked or however. And then BG said, quote, we didn't have the right coaches in the right positions or something like that. But overall, yeah, that was pretty interesting that they all said that or however. So again, I think it was mainly just coaching, not communication. And then AJ also said that he's motivated by effectiveness, saying that he can play 5 straight plays, but can he get touchdowns theoretically on all those plays or however? He wants to be effective. You know what I'm saying? So obviously touchdowns win games, defenses, picks win games, pick sixes, all those big impact plays, and that's what he's capable of doing. He's a wide receiver one, obviously. So he also said he hit 20-something miles an hour this offseason again because he did it last year as well, I guess. So, I mean, he's consistently having his speed. I mean, he's usually able to stay healthy pretty easily, nothing major. So, I mean, I have full faith in that. Next up, Jordan Mailata says Cam Jurgens is killing it at center. That's quote-unquote what he said. And he said that Mekhi Becton is also doing a pretty good job in the backup roles, or however. And that according to multiple reports, he's dominating like the backups, or however. And then Ringo, he was next up on the interviews. He said that the competition is up for grabs. He feels faster, stronger, etc. And that he can understand the game at a faster pace. So I mean, I as well as the defensive scheme, or however, being a bootleg Fangio scheme, or however, I think that we got the actual guy that can run it. I believe we'll have a better end result. But yeah, like I said, BG, he also said he's next to however. He said that he likes the scheme, like the actual Fangio scheme, that the young guys look good, and that how he fixed like the coaching situation as I spoke about. And then according to Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts had an incredible offseason, doesn't want to make the same mistake twice. I'm a Jalen Hurts believer until I see otherwise. New coordinators every year, things of that nature. And then Devin White, he said that he said a couple of interesting things. He said that Fangio's been throwing a lot at them, that he got humbled and whatnot, that he didn't handle it right in Tampa Bay, meaning that he was more worried about the finance or however instead of just playing the game that he loves. But now I guess he learned his lesson, saying that he feels that like if you deliver on the football field, the financials will take care of themselves, or something along those lines. And then he also feels like Fangio's going to use him to like the best of his abilities and maximize his strengths and things of that nature. So I think that's really cool that he has that confidence. And then obviously, like I said, in terms of the post June cap, first cap, we're 8th in the NFL in cap space with $26.8 million in cap space, which can do most decent caliber moves, or however we could get a top 10 at most positions, and we could get a top 10 right guard, a top 10. You know what I'm saying? Right guard, or however for that pay, or however the case may be, because you never know. So standout player of the camp so far is John Ross. He ended up, everyone thinking, he's not gonna, get signed, or however. I'm not saying he's making the 53-man roster, but he's getting paid something. $10K a practice, $5K a practice, something. He's turning heads. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not overhyping the guy whatsoever. But in terms of a standout award, like the most unexpected thing, or however, yeah, I mean, I didn't even think he'd last this long. So in my personal opinion, I mean, I think, you know what I'm saying? Next up, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He said he didn't return to Philly to be liked. He said he came back to Philly to set the tone and to win. And obviously because he likes Philly and all that good stuff. Or however, Nick said his main message last offseason was like preaching conditioning and playing with great detail and things of that nature, but just to come back in the best shape of their lives. Evidently, Jordan Davis has done that. At least, the best I've seen. Jeff Lurie's considering a minority stake in the Eagles for $7.5 billion. I hope he doesn't. I mean, I'd rather have him than anybody else as the owner. Bradbury injury detail. Again, it's just the abductor. Nothing really to worry about. So again, I mean, he's garbage anyway, so it's not really much of a loss. And then Jalen Hurts, he said 95%. He said it was 95% of the offense is completely new under Kellen Moore. So, dude, like if you think about it like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you kind of got to give him a break a little bit, because I mean it's his fourth offensive coordinator. Every time there's been success in Philly, there's left. I mean, since Steichen, since anyone you could name, or however, even defensive coordinators, Gannon. Pretty sure he was the defensive coordinator. I'm sorry, it's just ADHD, crazy morning. But overall, yeah, I mean, a lot to be excited about. Overall, yeah, I mean, John Ross, he's turning heads at practice, things of that nature. And overall, yeah, I mean, considering everything we got, or however, in my opinion, if we cannot win a Super Bowl with this, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know. I'll always love Eagles. I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just saying, however, I mean, like there has to be something seriously freaking wrong. The league has to be rigged against us, or however, or unless Jalen Hurts goes to crap, or unless the coaches are crap, we're winning it all this year. Unless the NFL is rigged. That's the only way. Those are the only two ways we're not winning it all this year. Is if the coaches are crap, or if Jalen turns to crap, or however, or if the league's rigged against us. Those are the only two ways, or however, that we're not going to the Super Bowl and winning. Other than that, I mean, screw going to Super Bowl, screw playoff wins. We need freaking rings. Oh, we went to the Super Bowl, yeah, but did we get a ring? No. They remember the winners. It's harder to remember the losers. Because you're like, oh, okay, bet, he had a ring, or however, yada, 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 or however. You know what I'm saying? Like, screw, oh, we almost got this, we almost got that, we got here. No, did we win? Did we win there? No. We haven't won since 2017. And only BG and then Lane Johnson, I'm pretty sure, the only two people that were on the roster at that point. Maybe Slay. Oh, wait, no, he's only been here 4 years. Yeah, no, not even Slay. I was thinking because he was like 34 or whatever, but he's only been here like 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. Because we got him in like a trade or however not too long ago. Anyways, long story short, in conclusion, yeah, those are the only two ways we won't win or however, and yeah, we need freaking rings, not excuses, and blah, blah, blah. And that's the only thing I don't like about Jalen, however, is how he is in press conferences and interviews. Other than that, I like how he plays and all that. I like how he hypes the team up before games, but he's just boring in interviews. I'm sorry. He's like Kawhi Leonard. Or, let me see, not Giannis, or, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's literally the best comparison I can give him, or however. He's literally like Kawhi Leonard. Doesn't really say much, or however, I mean, he jokes around like a little bit, or however, but I don't know. It's just everything else about him's freaking badass. No Diddy, pause, whatever, But yeah, overall, yeah, that's what that's what I think. Sorry, guys, I'm just waking up and whatnot. I'm trying to get this video uploaded and edited and all that good stuff. But yeah. Next thing I'd like to talk about is my stat predictions. In my opinion, Jalen Hurts will throw for 30 touchdowns. Or 30 plus, 32, 33, something like that. I don't know exactly, but I have A.J. Brown getting 8 touchdowns. I'll put all my predictions up here, or however, or up there, whichever way looks better. But yeah, essentially, A.J. Brown's going to have 8 touchdowns. Devontae Smith's going to have 8 touchdowns. That's 16 so far. Saquon's going to have 7 touchdowns. You know what? No, I'll say 6. Yeah, so 7 plus 7 is 14. And then 6, that's 20, and then Goddard will have a few, and then John Ross might have one, or Johnny Wilson, whoever like the 3 and 4 is. But I think it's gonna be a really big year for like the main big guy. So I have Jalen Hurts throwing, not rushing or however. That's a completely different stat. However, just throwing 32, 33, or however. 8 to AJ, 8 to Smitty, 5 or 6 to Saquon, something like that. 7 to Saquon, something. And then a couple to Goddard, like 4 or 5 to Goddard, you know what I'm saying, throughout the season. 17 games, heck of freaking drives, Kellen Moore's offense. Hopefully, everything clicks and all that. Maybe one to CJ Ozma, something like that, if they have like a dual tight end play or something like that. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't see why we can't average, 35, 40. I mean, we averaged 28 last year with only 5 plays. Think about it like that. Think about it like that. Before you say I'm crazy for saying we can average 40 points, think about this. We averaged 28, 2 points less than 30. With absolutely garbage freaking defense. I'd go so far as to say historically bad defense, embarrassingly bad defense, worthless ass defense. Sorry for my language. Worthless ass defense. Couldn't stop a statue defense. I love my Eagles. I always will. But last year our defense couldn't stop a statue. It was that bad. Last man Dean, you know what I'm saying? Garbage, you know what I'm saying? Slay, garbage. Bradbury, garbage. The only 2 highlights are, however, in the first half of the season, up until he chased down Josh Allen, I believe it was Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. That was really the only bright side. I remember there was like this one game where the only actual touchdown was by Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis. I'm pretty sure it was Jalen Carter. 95% sure. But yeah, that was like literally the only touchdown in the entire game other than field goals. I'm pretty sure there was one game, however, it was just field goals, and then he was the only one to get a touchdown the entire game. I'm like, man, a 350-pound guy. I mean, what's the point of Kenneth Gainwell? I mean, what's the point of him? I mean, Carter's a better running back than him. He got a touchdown. I mean, Kenneth Gainwell couldn't fucking do it. Excuse my language, but he couldn't do it. Garbage. Sorry to tell you, garbage. Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell, yeah, no faith in him or however. I mean, I believe we should just get Miles Sanders back, however, from the Panthers. That's what I believe. But, yeah, and then, And then obviously, in terms of the offense, Brian Johnson only knew 5 plays. Obviously, excluding the Bradley stuff, because I would do that or have on every 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 3 and whatever the case, 3 and 1 or whatever the case may be. I'd even do it on 1 and 1 or 2 and 1. My bad. Sorry, I'm just super freaking excited. But yeah, I'd even do it on 2 and 1 if we got 9 yards on the first down or however, and there's only 1 yard left. Shoot, I'd do it every down I possibly could if I had that good of a line. But anyways, next thing. You know what I'm saying? Is on top of only knowing 5 plays, or however, we still averaged 28 points a game. And we didn't have, and I mean, Saquon is a top 5, top 3, bare minimum top 10 running back. And out of 32 teams, a top 10 running back. Sorry to tell you, but DeAndre Swift was not top 10. I'm sorry to tell you. He was top 15, top 20. Sorry to tell you. Nothing but love to DeAndre Swift, you know what I'm saying? I said that the entire season, keep him energy the same. But overall, yeah, I mean, he's top 10. You know what I'm saying? No, absolutely not. Saquon, I in my opinion, I have him at the 5th best running back in the league, being humble. I can't even name 4 people better than him. You know what I'm saying? I watch football all the time, or however, that's just me being humble. I have him at number 3. Humbleness aside, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to be humble, so, oh, but boy, you think just because he's an Eagle, what. But I understand injuries and all that, or however, worthless freaking team he played on and all that made him look bad. I get it. Played on a poverty franchise. I get it. He's not his fault. But, I mean, that's not having Saquon. If he can carry them to a couple wins and pretty good freaking looking games or however, you know what I'm saying, to where he can make it close and whatnot. I mean, imagine what he can do for us with everyone distracted for him in our line. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they were re-signed. We have a backup tight end now, C.J. Uzomah. I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time. He's not Travis Kelce. He's not Gronk. But, I mean, he's solid. He's respectable. He's only 31. You know, and even then, he'll be a backup tight end. So, again, I don't see why, 40 points a game isn't possible. Unless Jalen Hurts is a bum. Unless he's a bum or the coaches are bums. I mean, all the weapons you got, it's basically the Golden State Warriors. Because, I mean, you got Draymond Green or however, basically, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, basically, or Jordan Davis and Draymond Green or however the case may be. And then Steph Curry, you got, you could argue it's Jalen Hurts or Devontae Smith or whatever the case may be. And then, obviously, you got Klay Thompson and A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith again or however the case may be. And then, obviously, you got Kevin Durant and... You know what I'm saying? Theoretically, I mean, that's basically the Golden State Warriors in terms of defense. C. Gardner-Johnson, top 10 safety in the league. I don't care what anybody says. Isaiah Rodgers, top 10 cornerback and safety in the league. Sorry to tell you, he was already top 5. I'll say he lost 5 spots in 1 year. I'll give you that. He lost 5 spots in a year. Fine. Hell, I'll even say he lost 10 spots. Top 15. He's still a top half of the league. Top half of the league cornerback. Fine. I'll even go that far. I'll even be that humble about it. We have the 2 best corners in the draft. Even if one of them is a bust, one of them's gonna freaking move. I don't think both of them are gonna freaking bust. The first and the 3rd best corner in the draft. Either Cooper DeJean. I hope both of them is. I hope and I predict both of them are gonna hit in terms of being a good all-time cornerback. I hope so, and I predict that. But you never know. Everyone doubts how his drafting ability or however the case may be. But in that sense, being humble. I mean, it's very, very, very possible. You know what I'm saying? That both of them can hit. So, and then on top of that, Devin White, he has his mind thing figured out, or however I believe so. Top 10 linebacker. At one point, he's in the conversation for being the best linebacker. So, in the course of 2020 to 2024, 4 years, almost half a decade. I gave you that. That's half a decade. And in the NFL, a lot can happen in 4 years in the NFL. I give you that. So I'll say top 15, top 10. He has the ability to be a top 10 linebacker. And it's not like they have Ray Lewis nowadays. It's not like they have nothing like that. You can't really hit anybody. But, I mean, in terms of covering, interceptions, things of that nature, everything possible. And Ray Lewis got hella interceptions. Linebackers can get interceptions. Not their main job. It's protect, like you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, if you can, it always freaking helps. So, yeah, overall, yeah, that's more than possible. And obviously, in terms of D-line, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, I think they're top 10 at their positions. Top 15, I'll be humble, top 15. And then you also got a couple veterans, you know what I'm saying, and obviously Fangio. I believe in terms of defense, he's capable if he has a good talent around him, because you're obviously not going to have a star stud at a defense every year, but I believe we kind of do right now. We have, I believe, if even the couple of the rookies hit, we can have a top 10 secondary. Top 15, top half of the league, compared to 350 yards per game getting torched by Sam Howell and backups all year. I'll take top 10. I'll take that. And I believe we have the power to do that. So not only can we generate points off of picks, because Devin White can get picks, C.J. Gardner-Johnson can get picks, Cooper DeJean can get picks, Quinyon Mitchell can get picks. There's so many players on the team that can pick off the ball, that are ball hawks. I think we're going to have, a pretty damn good year defensively. You know what I'm saying? I know interceptions ain't everything, but I mean, it takes a heck of a lot less toll on the player to just catch the ball and run it back a little bit and let the offense play most of the game, or have pick sixes. Because last year our defense was getting torched because we were on the field too long. Because Brian Johnson couldn't stay on the field long enough ever to give the defense rest, so that's why we ended up getting cooked by backups. That's the way I saw it. That's what I saw. I saw Brian Johnson just being an absolute, how Stephen A. Smith rants about Jamarcus Russell, lazy bum of a coordinator. That's Brian Johnson as an offensive coordinator. Look up him, Stephen A. Smith, or however, ranting, or I might put it up here, however, depending. But look if you have time, look up Stephen A. Smith ranting about Jamarcus Russell as a quarterback. Look at that lazy, slobbity, fat, good for nothing like that. That's Brian Johnson as a quarterback. And not as a quarterback, as an offensive coordinator. That was him last year. Lazy bum of a freaking only 5 plays. That's all you got. 5 plays. That's all you got. That's all you got. Worthless. Garbage. Embarrassingly bad. How do you go from a Super Bowl to that? Come on. I know it's partially Jalen's fault or having. I love Jalen Hurts, but man, you didn't know. From the get go, all right, man, this dude's only known 3 plays. Got to get him out of here before preseason. That's all. Come on. All you guys knew was 5 plays. And then in terms of Shady McCoy, all-time Eagles rushing leader, I love you. You know what I'm saying? No Diddy, nothing like that. I've watched you growing up. You know what I'm saying? Much love and respect to you. But they only knew 5 plays last year. Christian McCaffrey, an offensive player. It's not his job to know what the other offenses are going to do. But the fact it was so easy up, he's going to go here, and he was literally calling out the Eagles' offense as if he's the defensive coordinator. Come on now. That's only 5 plays, buddy. Come on now. You're the greatest Eagles running back of all time. You have the most yards of all time, or probably the most touchdowns, or however, I'm pretty sure, but the Eagles rushing leader all time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, nothing like that. No disrespect. I love you, Shady McCoy. I know you probably won't watch this or have the case may be, but you never know. But yeah, they only knew 5 plays. Hail Mary to AJ or Smitty, or a little offshore pass, or however, a little off thing pass to Goddard, or a quarterback sneak. That's really all they knew. That's it. I'm just saying. I love my Eagles. You know what I'm saying? I love Shady McCoy, all that good stuff. But of course, 90% of it's going to be new. If they only knew 5 plays, come on. That's all. And they're talking about from last year. Maybe they're going to go back to 2022 more so, or however, or something like that. You never know. But yeah, overall, final prediction for 14-3. I don't know really who our losses are, however, but I have us going 14-3. I believe, we more than have the tools to become Super Bowl champions at least once. Say Saquon signed for at least 3 years, however, we have Saquon if he's, really going to impact Christian McCaffrey, I say, because I haven't seen him play a game yet. But yeah, first game's in Brazil. I guess nobody can wear green. So in my head, I'm like, what the hell's the point? Nobody can wear green. But yeah, sorry for ranting, guys. I just love my Philadelphia Eagles football. I'll try my best to make it as entertaining as possible by putting little videos in the background or however the case. Because I know, it's just because I love my Eagles. That's my thing. I love my Eagles and I get passionate. Last year, I had Vietnam flashbacks. I was ripping hair out, and obviously when I'm not bald or however, but you know what I'm saying? But man, it was so hard to watch, and I got called, you're not a real fan. We're 10-1, we're 10-1, but we're playing like garbage. We only know 5 plays. Our defense can't stop or statue. I'm sorry that aggravates me so much just because our defense was worthless last year. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we need. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so sorry for ranting. Like I said, I'll put videos one out in the background or however, so then you guys can be more entertained and things of that nature. And And yeah, I'll try to make it as entertaining as possible, like little banners or however, throughout the video. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep commenting, keep giving feedback, things of that nature. Um, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, join the Philly Flyover family if you're new. Share to your friends that are Eagles fans, or if not, that anyone can watch this. Welcome to anybody. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Philly out. Peace.